Hey, welcome back to BimbleBit. I'm Damian.
I'm Andy.
And we're two guys just shooting the shit about Bitcoin right here on BimbleBit.com. Thanks for coming back. Whether you're joining us on YouTube or Nostr, please be sure to subscribe. Come along every week because we do this every week.
Every week.
And you may notice the pins. We are celebrating Remembrance Day, so thank you to all the brave men and women that served to keep us free and all those that gave their lives to allow us to enjoy the freedom that we do today. So thank you to everyone.
Nice tribute.
Yeah, well, it's lest we forget.
Lest we forget.
Yeah, that's right. Well, we're going to dive right into the old liquidity pool here, but coming up a little bit, we're going to talk about a guy in Brazil and pop cans. It's a really cool story, so we're going to have that for you coming up. In the meantime, the buying is crazy. The frenzy of buying with the dip, I think that's probably what people are seeing. And once in a while, we have, two or three, but I mean, it was silly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots and lots, right?
Lots of them.
BlackRock
in there.
Just still doesn't stop.
Doesn't stop.
No. Michael Saylor with Strategy B. What did he just get? 487 Bitcoin for 50 million today.
Yep. Matador Technologies, they just bought in some more.
They really.
Yep. Trump Media, they hold now over 11,000 Bitcoin, and they just got some more.
We've got Strive Asset Management buying 1,567 Bitcoin for $162 million. They now hold 7,525. But the reason they were able to buy so much this round is because they just had a very successful IPO. So it raised a lot of money for them.
IPO.
Yeah, so that stands for initial public offering. So in other words, they've been, doing their thing, and they've decided they're going to open it up to the public. They can buy shares in the company. Well, that's how they were able to buy so many today.
Okay. Last time we talked about Tucker Carlson. He's a big face, a big name out there, and why. And I'm referencing this now because we've got all these major companies, and you and me buying.
Yeah,
we bought in the dip.
Of course.
Join the but Tucker, let's just watch it.
Nobody can explain to me who Satoshi was, the creator of Bitcoin, this mysterious guy who apparently died, but nobody knows who he was. I grew up in DC primarily in a government family, so CIA. That's my guess. Can't prove it, but you're telling me to invest in something whose founder is mysterious and has billions of dollars of unused Bitcoin. What is that? And no one can answer the question, including some of the biggest holders of Bitcoin in the world. Do I know personally? They're like, oh, it doesn't matter. It matters to me. Right?
CIA.
Yeah.
CIA.
Yeah, you don't want to buy it because CIA.
It's good to have your opinion, but when you look around and everybody he knows has Bitcoin, I mean, why wouldn't you just dabble a little bit?
Well, and you take a look at that angle, going, here's a guy that CIA, but then you have this one still that, hey, put this one up, Jay. This is the CEOs from 10 companies. 6 out of 7 of them are Mag 7 companies. All 100% believe in Bitcoin and how it will better the world.
Well, we are right now, the Senate has pushed through that the government is coming back, and they said that instantly should send it up to about 150. But video after video after video of the U.S. government announcing all the amazing, wonderful, things they're going to be doing with crypto. Let's watch this one.
We will take a close look at regulatory impediments to blockchain, stablecoins, and new payment systems. And we will consider reforms to unleash the awesome power of the American capital markets. Americans deserve a financial services industry that works for all Americans, including and especially Main Street.
I mean, that was one of 10.
Yeah.
I could pick. I mean, it was just everywhere.
Yeah. It's sometimes when you're going through the stories, you're going, oh, should we talk about that? Or, what's more fun, to
it's
talk about?
Positive.
It really is. I mean, even we talk about the liquidity pool, all the people, the investment coming from everywhere. And then you take a look at the use cases, right? How's it coming out on the other end? Walmart now will start accepting Bitcoin payments within the next couple of months.
So cool.
Right? But then you've got Jack Dorsey. He owns the company called Square, where every merchant, what did they say? 4 million Square merchants can now start accepting Bitcoin effective immediately today.
Yeah, Bitcoin to Bitcoin payments.
Unbelievable, huh?
Okay, so that brings me to Jack Mallard and Strike. If you could just maybe make that happen in Canada. Thank you. That's my PSA for the day right there.
There you go.
Yeah. So a whale, there's news come about a whale. I don't know anything more than this guy. Roll it, Jay.
We have a Bitcoin whale bets $234 million against BTC, targeting a $123,000 liquidation price. That's going to be very interesting. They can lose their shirt or they can make a lot of money. I'm wondering if they know something more than I know. That's huge. That's absolutely huge.
I don't know if people know anything more than anyone else does.
No.
People love to gamble. And when you have that much money, it's a drop in the bucket.
Well, some people like to have some fun.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, if he hits it big, he's going to hit it big.
Yeah. But if he loses, he probably has enough to lose.
Well, I would like him to lose just for the fact that he's bidding it to go down. We want it up, way up.
Yeah.
We're going to jump to this story here. Let's do it. We'll call it a Tales.
Okay.
All right? Okay.
Yeah.
Time now for Tales from the Crypto. Yeah, still got it.
Come on, it's been a while. Why not? Welcome back.
So there is a guy in Brazil, and his goal was to set out to collect enough aluminum cans to recycle to buy 1 Bitcoin. So basically what has happened now is he says, it's impossible. It will never happen. So now he's shooting for 1/10 of a Bitcoin. But they broke it down, and they were wondering how would this work in the U.S., just as an example. And they don't really do a lot of recycling in the U.S.
Huh.
Not like Canada, where you can take your bottles in.
Yeah.
I mean,
don't
over the summer, mucho grande.
Why don't they do that?
I don't know why they don't do that, but they say now if the U.S. was to replicate this experiment, according to industry trackers, so 50 cents per pound of clean aluminum in beverage cans. At that rate, earning enough for 1 Bitcoin, currently trading at 106,000, would require roughly 210,000 pounds of cans, equal to about 6.3 million individual cans.
For 1/10 of a Bitcoin, or is that a whole Bitcoin?
That's for 1/10.
Yeah. So he's got a lot of work to do.
He does. And I mean, it's like people bidding a pen and trading up for a house, right? I get what he's trying to do, but with the price going like it is all the time, your goal would just buy one. Okay.
Well, how about here in Canada, we take our recycling back. Maybe we should start a program. Maybe we should start collecting, have people drop off cans for us so we can buy Bitcoin.
It's not a bad idea.
Cans for Bitcoin.
Should quit your day job. I want to look into this one really quick, and it's interesting. It's investment firm 21 Shares, and they basically broke down the 4-year cycle. So it's interesting to know that November 12th, the halvening there shot Bitcoin from $12 to $1,150, and then bang, lost 85%. And it did that again, July 16th, from $650 to $20,000, and 80% loss. Bang! And then the third one, we saw the same, $700 to $69,000, and then lost 75%. So these are the cycles that we see, but what goes down must go up, and that's what we're seeing over and over again. It's really neat how they break that down.
It is, and you know, Google it, 4-year cycles. It really starts to make sense, and you will get excited as to where we are in that cycle right now.
Yeah,
because it is very exciting. I mean, it really is. I know that I will get Jay to play this video.
I think it's pretty obvious that the countries that are adversarial to the U.S. will ultimately buy Bitcoin and potentially other coins, but I would say at least start with Bitcoin. And so I think there's going to be an arms race, right? And there'll be like Dr. Strangelove, strategic mineshaft gap, right? Like it's going to be a real race. And as you know, there's only 21 million. And if a bunch of people all want to buy 1 million each, it's not enough to go around, right? And there again, that's why I'm so bullish, because there's just not enough Bitcoins to satisfy countries' desires. I think the U.S. has 200,000 Bitcoins just, you know, from confiscations, kind of a random.
And China has roughly the same, I think.
Yeah, and China has roughly the same. No, I mean, no problem seeing them wanting to buy 1 million Bitcoins. You know, yeah, I mean, it's still tiny compared to their balance sheets, budgets, all that stuff. And so if you have 2, 3, 4, like say the GC wants to buy 1 million, China wants to buy 1 million, maybe Russia wants to buy some, U.S., like, it's going to squeeze up like a watermelon seed.
This is a billionaire CEO of Pantero. He's talking about how there's going to be a real kind of like arms wars with Bitcoin between China and the United States. He goes, because once they start going, okay, I need more, no, I need more, I need more. Well, there's only 1 million left. And what's left on exchanges, right? So it could come to a point real quick, real fast, where you will see that incredible climb. I don't know if it's going to happen. anytime soon, but
You know what? It's going to be a
it will
blind side.
happen at some point, and that was quite a video he talked about,
Yeah.
And then also there was this quote I saw. I know Jay will put up this quote, and there's he's speaking on CNBC. He's explaining that moving the financial system on chain could enable faster transactions,
Totally.
improve credit markets, efficient capital formation, and broader access.
And security.
Unbelievable, with the ultimate goal of creating more economic freedom worldwide. And that's Brian Armstrong, CEO of Coinbase. These are some pretty powerful statements. Everything at some point will probably go on chain because it's quicker, easier, and cheaper to deal with.
One of the most amazing things there's Bitcoin, but all the things that went into making Bitcoin, like the blockchain, is baffling as well. So
right,
it's really cool, and it's being used in so many different applications.
This this is Stokey guy. He knows what shit's going down, obviously.
Well, we should at this time lock in our blockchain height at 923,085. That is courtesy of TimeChainCalendar.com. Great app if you haven't got it yet. Google and Apple, it's all on there. Jay, bring that music in, my friend.
Yeah.
It's coming right up down in the Netherlands. This is the big one. It's Bitcoin Amsterdam 2025 happening the 13th and 14th. Like that is coming right up. So if you're going, please send us pictures. BimbleBit.com.
Yeah, do that.
Let us know how it went. And then we've got African Summit coming up in December, and we're going to touch on a bunch of those. And really into 2026 now. We're that close that it is coming up.
Yeah, I mean, here we are.
Vegas again for Bitcoin 2026 is
Right.
back at the Venetian.
Yeah.
So cool.
Should be fun.
Yeah.
Be fun. Yeah.
Awesome.
And so, listen, a real quick thing. The market, we've had some market movers today, and for several reasons you might have checked out. Basically, what happened is they have reopened the house in the United States this morning, and the Dow is up 381 points, S&P 100, and the Nasdaq was up 622 points. Some massive moves in the legacy market, and even today, Bitcoin came up. It's up 1.4%, about 107,000. So it's making its moves up now, and there's some pretty powerful stuff behind the momentum that will carry Bitcoin into the end of the year.
Let's show that picture real quick of
Warren Buffett.
Warren Buffett, yeah.
Warren Buffett.
That's a cool picture.
It is,
right
isn't
there.
it? So Warren Buffett, over the last 10 years, and he is an industry leader. Obviously, he's retiring at the end of this year. I don't know if you knew that.
He'll be
But
comfortable.
he's fine. He still lives in the same house he bought. For $31,000 or something like that. He drives like the same car, Cadillac, he's driven for the last 10 years, and he lives 10 minutes from his office. So he's
likes
very
beef dinner.
habitual. And McDonald's, he's a fan of McDonald's, yeah. But anyway, so his last 10 years return on his fund, Berkshire Hathaway, 14.17%. Satoshi, average last 10 years, 76.12%.
Enjoy your home and your car, Warren.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Hey, if you got anything going on, we would love to be able to share it. You got to get a hold of us, though, BimbleBit.com. So reach out, let us know what's going on, and we'll be sure to get it out there. In the meantime, I'm Damian.
I'm Andy.
We're just two guys shooting the shit right here on BimbleBit.com.
Cheers, mates. Please subscribe.
I already said that, but he said it again. But that's okay.